President Trump is a controversial figure, to say the least. He is often off-putting with his extravagant displays of opulence, and it's easy to think you'd never be able to relate to him. But it turns out he enjoys many of the same things we do. Here are 10 surprising, everyday things President Trump enjoys. We are going to be giving you a trivia question later in the video, and trust us, it's going to be huge! The best trivia question you've ever seen. Keep watching so you don't miss out. No matter the size of your hands, they're big enough to press the subscribe button. Steak and eggs. While Ron Swanson may prefer bacon and eggs, preferably in the quantity of all you have, some of Trump's favorite foods are steak and eggs, which are surprisingly mundane. The president loves to start his morning with some hearty eggs, just like so many of us. There are a ton of different ways to cook these delicious protein-rich foods. Some prefer them over easy or sunny side up to leave some yolk suitable for dipping, while others prefer them fluffy and scrambled. We know Trump likes his things to be the very best, so perhaps that's why he orders his eggs over well. The best eggs possible. Better than well. These eggs are cooked all the way through with the yolk fully cooked. While that sounds a little more well done than some of us prefer our breakfast foods, that seems to be Trump's favorite cooking method. While some of us feel that a steak cooked above medium rare is nothing short of sacrilege, it's how Trump enjoys his steaks. In fact, he enjoys this common food to be so well done that his former butler described them as rocking on their plates from being so charred. Oh, and there's nothing he likes better on his steak than a hearty dollop of ketchup. Styling his hair. While we would think getting your hair professionally done regularly would be a major perk of being a celebrity, Trump prefers to do his own hair. While his signature hairstyle is often the butt of jokes, Trump likes how it looks so much he prefers to do it himself so he can get it just right. His hairstyle of choice is so bizarre that many people think he's wearing a toupee, but it's his actual hair. During his time on The Apprentice, he had a hairstylist whose sole job was just to make sure not a single lock fell out of place, as Trump would show up for filming with it already styled to his liking. Dying to get your own Trump hairstyle? After washing your hair, let it dry and then comb it straight back until it is just the way you like it. Apply several layers of product to prevent a single strand from falling out of place. It's also believed that his enjoyment of doing his own hair extends to his dye job as well. It appears to be dyed unevenly, leading us to believe that a professional isn't responsible for this. Reading the newspaper. Past all of his bluster, Trump is a 70-year-old man, and like other people his age, he likes to start his day by reading the newspaper. That's right, he doesn't spend the entirety of his day angrily reading and retweeting on Twitter. While his employees are tasked with collecting any articles about him from various publications and presenting them to him in the morning, it turns out Trump is a fan of reading the New York Times and the New York Post cover to cover. He also skims the Wall Street Journal as part of his morning routine. His love of reading doesn't extend to books, however, as he reportedly reads them very rarely. With all the intelligence at his command, it's kind of amusing to picture him obtaining his news the old-fashioned way. Print newspapers are considered by many to be a dying industry, but Trump clearly isn't willing to give up on them. He also uses a black Sharpie marker to circle or remark on stories he finds particularly interesting. We also like to imagine that he cuts out his favorite Marmaduke comic strips to hang on the fridge. Fast food. Whether it's because we're in a huge rush or because we're so broke that we can barely afford the dollar menu, fast food is something many of us consume out of necessity. We like to daydream about being able to afford a personal chef to create incredible custom meals for us, or at the very least, about regularly dining out at 5-star restaurants and eating the finest foods available. Despite the insane amount of money at his disposal, Trump still prefers a lot of his food to be of the fast variety. While he is frequently on the go, surely with a little advanced planning, he could pick up some tastier and healthier takeout. But it turns out Trump just loves fast food. It's a guilty pleasure that he shows no guilt about enjoying. Strangely enough, he also believes that fast food is prepared in more sanitary conditions than normal restaurants because of the strict rules put in place by the franchises. With fast food, you do know where all the food is coming from, even if most of us would rather not think about it. He enjoys the predictability, order, cleanliness, and of course, the taste. Trucks. At about the same age we couldn't get enough of fast food kids meals, we all loved playing with toy trucks. And few things were as exciting as hearing the loud honk of the horn of an 18-wheeler while driving down the highway. It turns out that Donald Trump never grew out of his love for trucks. In March 2017, Trump was having an important discussion regarding the hot-button issue of healthcare reform. This is an important topic to many people who are having trouble affording health insurance for their families and people whose current coverage is being threatened by changes in legislation. But even this important issue could not distract Trump from his love of trucks. He was spotted wearing a button conveying that he loves trucks just in case there was any doubt, and later on he was seen climbing into a truck and gleefully honking the horn. He posed for photos and even pretended to make a getaway in the 18-wheeler. Maybe he just wanted to blow off some steam by hitting the open road, or at least pretending to. Although, considering that his limo is fully equipped with weapons, a Secret Service agent driver, and emergency supplies, we think we'd pick going for a ride in that over a huge truck. We all know that what you guys enjoy is a quality trivia question. What food does Trump's sister, Marianne Trump Barry, make him every year for his birthday? Keep watching for the answer. Golf. Presidents have been playing golf since time immemorial, so this one might not seem so immediately surprising. It seems almost necessary for presidents to enjoy a few rounds of golf so photos can surface of them doing so, and their detractors can scream that they're wasting time, and their supporters can scream back that they deserve a break. Such a beautiful sport mired in tradition. But Trump's love of golf greatly precedes his presidency, and in fact, he's known for being even a little fanatical about golf. He owns many golf resorts and private clubs because of his love of the sport. For Trump, it seems that golf may be another way in which he can practice his actual favorite sport, winning. He's reportedly quite good at golf and has even gone as far as to say that it's aspirational for him. He sees golfing as a ticket to the good life, and he may be right about that since Trump's life seems to be pretty darn good by his standards. It remains to be seen, however, if his fondness for the sport will cause others to take up the clubs, if they can afford the green fees, of course. Phones. Trump is used to living in buildings designed and decorated to his specifications, so moving to the White House was reportedly a big adjustment. And there's some reports that say he went into it less than enthusiastically, as he tried to drag out the nights he spent sleeping in his own place. He even had to give up his beloved unsecure Android phone once he geared up to move into the White House. But once he got used to the Oval Office, he did manage to find at least one thing about it that he loves: the phones. Maybe they just filled the void in his heart left by his confiscated Android, but Trump is reportedly a huge fan of the phones at the White House. He describes them as the most beautiful phones he's ever seen in his life. That's a little more poetic than most people would be talking about phones, but at least he's enjoying life's simple pleasures instead of the more extravagant ones that he's used to. To us, they appear to be nothing but a couple of Cisco brand phones, similar to the ones we use in our own office. But to Trump, they're a beautiful sight. Waking up early. Even if you're something of a night owl, you have to admit that there is something satisfying about waking up early to start your day. It just seems like you have so much more time and so many more hours of daylight to enjoy. Plus, you can get things done before you have to trudge off to work. We already told you that Trump likes to start his morning by reading the paper, but he enjoys waking up early to do it. Reports put Trump's time to rise and shine between 4 and 6 a.m. And he doesn't head to bed right at 6 p.m. sharp either. He claims that he likes getting approximately 3 or 4 hours of sleep per night. While this would make most of us quite cranky, there are some rare people who thrive on small amounts of sleep. The Wall Street Journal once referred to these people as the sleepless elite, proving that Trump is not only part of the 1% in terms of wealth, but sleeping requirements as well. So not only does Trump have more money than us, he also has a lot more time on his hands. Ice cream. We've established that Donald Trump isn't known for eating the healthiest of foods. Maybe that's why people seemed intent on making ice cream products based on our president. Apple Hills Creamery in Brooklyn, New York released ice cream flavors based on Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump during the campaign season. Clinton's ice cream was a chili-infused chocolate ice cream containing chunks of chocolate chips based on Clinton's recipe. Trump's flavor was called Make America Orange Again and was a jab at Trump's particular pallor. It was an orange creamsicle ice cream with chunks of marshmallows and chocolate brownies. Although when it comes to the issues, both candidates are very different and appreciated by very different people, both ice cream flavors sound amazing. A fake image circulated the internet for a while of a Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor called Impeachment, featuring an image of Trump's face. Some people fell for it, but although Ben & Jerry's has been known to get political, the rumor turned out to be false. So what is Trump's favorite ice cream flavor? It's so simple, it's actually kind of shocking. His favorite ice cream flavor is a classic cherry vanilla. Is this all there is? Music is something that we can all appreciate. We all know that feeling when we find song lyrics that feel like they were written about our lives. We proudly declare that song is our personal anthem and rock out to it whenever possible. It feels awesome to have someone else put into words all of the things you feel and set those words to some amazing beats. It turns out that Trump likes that feeling just as much as any of us. So what is Donald Trump's personal anthem that he feels he can relate to? It's the song Is That All There Is by Peggy Lee. The tune was written by Jerry Leiber and Mike Stoller, who wrote such popular songs as Jailhouse Rock and Hound Dog. The song was a huge hit during the 1960s and is about a girl who is disillusioned when all the events in her life, like falling in love, don't live up to the hype. The fact that Donald Trump, who has accomplished a great many things in his life, can relate to these lyrics is oddly touching in a way. We wonder if he felt disappointment when he finally got to honk the horn of that 18-wheeler, although it sure doesn't look like it. You'll want to put down the fast food when you hear about the fantastic homemade dish that Trump gets on his birthday, courtesy of his sister. Every year, she makes him a meatloaf per his request. Before you head off to enjoy something non-YouTube related, check out some other great videos